Afrocuration, Who We Are, is a series of cultural events to inspire the production of knowledge in African languages by African youths. Under the WikiAfrica Education program, promoted by Moleskine Foundation, Fondazione Aurora, and Wikimedia Foundation. For the third edition of Afrocuration in Mozambique, Ethale Publishing and Fondazione Aurora brought together 30 young Emakhwa speakers to focus on 30 inspiring and contemporary historical figures, a symbolic act to the 30th anniversary of the Rome General Peace Accord, celebrated on the 4th of October 2022.
The first time we met with Ethale Publishing as Fondazione Aurora was like in partnership with Moleskine Foundation to actually implement the Afrocuration Mozambique 1.0. And next weekend we're gonna do the third one. So how is it going?
Well, no, is it going well? I think we have created like a strong community of content creators in Emakhwa language, which is very important because people see themselves empowered. We started like creating content about identity, creating content and also translating other contents related to national identity. And now we are moving further, for example, to provide the contents like inspirational contents to see that, okay, Mozambique is going to celebrate like this day of peace and reconciliation, but also to have peace we need inspiration. And the idea of creating articles in the next edition of Afrocuration next week is also a way of bringing this inspiration to Mozambique's people, and also to this specific group of young content creators. It's also quite interesting, quite interesting thing to do, because they see that they are doing something valuable, they are creating something that will be there, and it's like a heritage. It's like
and also the relationship with university, in the sense that we haven't like, obviously you implement it and you are like the cultural partner and you are really present, but the fact that we have like this capillarity also with like University of Rovuma and also with students, that it seems that they contaminate each other to be part of this movement, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's happening, sure.
And also when you do a new project, you never know if it will work.
Yeah.
You can have all the best ideas and you can think you have the best theory, but then when you actually bring it to the table and do the event, it kind of depends on the people you engage wanting to go with it. And I think one of the nicest things we've seen is that people are really into it. So into it that sometimes on a Saturday night when there's no Afrocuration, I have to mute the notifications on my WhatsApp, because people are just discussing every last word in Emakhwa conceptually, going deep into the philosophy of it. And I think way beyond even the work we do, what's been set off is this kind of continuous process of people just engaging with their identity and their language, you know, in this kind of digital community space. Is very interesting to observe, and a privilege for me to be part of. I'm not part of that community, but to be able to share in that energy is very positive.
And this sense of ownership make her think that we have created something that will remain there. And this is very important.
I remember that we have like a meeting with with the Mozambican ambassador in March, and we talk about like the Afrocuration, and he was like really impressed on the fact that on Wikipedia there were pages in Emakhwa, and so he started to say, okay, but what about like the other local languages? When you're gonna start with that? And I was like, okay, it's a big movement. We have to consolidate already what we are doing, but then obviously we're gonna be open. And we were talking about like even the fact of engaging the Mozambican diaspora here, in the sense that we are using IT as like a real mean of bolstering this movement. And so it's really important, and we are doing that online, even if like sometimes it's really nice to have like people in presence, but it's also possible, probably the Mozambican, they're in Portugal, they're in Italy, but they're gonna be part of this movement. So this is something that we can think about.
I think it's important that we all remain committed to it, and that we continue to, we've built, this beautiful seed that we've planted in the ground, And now if we keep watering it and keep nourishing it, we'll build something that will make a real impact in the long term on that community. And
what Fondazione Aurora is committed to do is, as we show, like to try to make this ball rolling, you know, so putting you in touch with the embassy and like with private entrepreneurs and with strategic partnership as like, I don't know, like Italian publishing houses or like library and stuff, because we think it's really, really important. And then who knows?
Well, one final note, I mean, during some of the left-wing governments of the 70s and 80s, 80% of Italy's foreign aid went to Mozambique. So I think Italians often see themselves quite negatively, but they're seen actually quite well in Mozambique by people who remember, because their heart was on the right side in that time in history. And so I think there's a natural connection there to explore as well. And I think that's part of what we're doing here. And hopefully we can achieve some more partnerships.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martha, for having us.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.